Hello and welcome to Vietnam Journal, our daily English news bulletin on NetViet VTC 10. I'm Ngọc Anh speaking from Hanoi. Every day we'll bring you comprehensive and up-to-date information about Vietnam and following our major stories on Tuesday. Vietnamese blue dragon fruit sold to the US. Ho Chi Minh City in the top 10 of street food destinations. And we'll explore Giang Sơn Carpentry Village. A company based in Bình Dương province in southern Vietnam has signed a contract to supply blue dragon fruits for several supermarket chains in the United States. This is the first time the produce has been directly sold to American supermarkets.
Since 2008, Vietnamese blue dragon had been exported to the US, but only through the Vietnamese and Chinese supermarkets there. However, blue dragon exports to the US are also facing difficulties due to controversial regulation concerning the fungicide residue limit in fruits stipulated by the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. Vietnam's Plant Protection Agency reported that the country's blue dragon exports to the US last year reached around 1,500 tons.
Vietnam has decided to pilot a value-added tax refund scheme for foreign visitors in July. The program will last for 3 years and retailers must register with authorities to join the scheme.
Foreigners who make purchases in Vietnam and leave the country via Nội Bài Airport in Hanoi or Tân Sơn Nhất Airport in Ho Chi Minh City will receive VAT reimbursements. The goods are required to be brand new and not on the list of prohibited items. A valid invoice with a value of at least 2 million Vietnam dong or $95 and a tax claim statement are required. Commercial banks selected to handle the tax repayments are allowed to charge a service fee of up to 15% of the refund value. The refund will be made in Vietnam dong and can be converted to other currencies accordingly.
And following is some other economic news in brief.
Vietnam's FPT software said it has just reached some agreements with US-based Intel to jointly top markets in Africa, especially Nigeria. The agreements were achieved during the 2012 World Economic Forum, which ended on January 29 in Davos, Switzerland. The Vietnamese company also discussed digital content and outsourcing cooperations with SK Planet, an affiliate of South Korea-based SK Telecom. An article recently published on Forbes magazine said Vietnam had extremely cheap stocks on offer, so the country would be a great place to invest this year. The downward trend in the Vietnamese stock market in 2011 offers the chance for private equity investors to buy stakes in some of the country's biggest companies, and the purchase is benefiting investors. On January the 29th, at the 42nd World Economic Forum in Davos, Vietnam has been hailed as an outstanding example for agricultural development among developing countries. While Vietnam continues promotions of agricultural development and economic restructuring, the agricultural working groups made every effort possible to improve the product value and to achieve a common goal of raising the income for farmers and developing a sustainable environment. Vietnam officially participated in the New Vision in Agriculture initiative in 2010, which aimed to increase agricultural output by 20% while reducing the poverty rate and carbon discharge by 20% in 10 years.
Japan-based Hitachi has recently held the 11th Hitachi Young Leaders Initiative in Hanoi. The event was themed The New Stage for Asia, an Asian perspective on managing sustainable development and economic integration. The event attracted potential leaders of 7 Asian countries, including Vietnam, Japan, and Singapore, among others. On this occasion, VTC10 reporter discussed with Mr. Yoichi Yamano, Senior Manager of Hitachi's Corporate Social Responsibility Division, about the youth and Vietnam's sustainable development.
Thank you, Mr. Yoichi Yamano, for sparing the time to join our talk today. So why is the event, namely Highly the 11th, held in Vietnam this time?
highly stands for the Hitachi Young Leaders Initiative, but this started from 1996. Vietnam joined later on, 2007, and then newly joined, and that is one factor because others starting from the 1996. So more chances with Vietnam's just I think that within 4 years, then we decided that is one of the factors. But at the same time, Vietnam is very, very important for many countries because your emerging economies is very, very strong, and also you have a very, very important role in the ASEAN. Of course, also the framework of the Mekong areas.
So could you assess the importance of sustainable development in Vietnam?
Well, actually, one of the theme, the major theme under the 11th Highly, we put that element, sustainable development, as you see that here, and economic integration though. So we really understand that this sustainable development, of course, applicable to, need to be applicable to all the countries, but at the same time, your economy is growing so rapidly these days, and this element very, very important at this stage. So I think that that is one of the strong reasons for this. And at the same time, I understand your community is very much aware this sort of the sustainable development and the community activity. So I think that must be the good, correlation between the community activities from the people's point of view. Also that the policy levels of sustainable development is quite important. So kind of a correlation can be strengthened, and we hope that this initiative will be some use to the give the message to this element as well.
What is Hitachi's plan for promoting sustainable development among Vietnamese youth?
One of the things we are doing this is, of course, that we focus that the leaders from the selected students from the selected universities in Vietnam as well, and therefore what we do from the Highly, obviously we expect that those students that are selected to think and continue to work on this important issue. At the same time, I think that we can have another opportunity from our people here. Hitachi, we have the office here, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, and we can also maintain the good relationship between our people and youth here in Vietnam. So I think we could continue to work on this important subject in many ways. So that's we really want to continue to do this.
Thank you so much for sparing the time. Thank you very much.
Vietnam Journal. It's not just news, it's life in Vietnam.
Welcome back to Vietnam Journal. Ho Chi Minh City has been listed among the world's top 10 street food destinations. The list was created by Food and Wine magazine, a monthly publication of American Express Publishing.
Ho Chi Minh City's most famous street foods include phở or rice noodles, bánh mì kẹp pate or sandwich with patty, and bánh xèo or sizzling cake or fried pancakes made of rice flour, turmeric powder, and slivers of fatty pork, shrimp. Food and Wine magazine recognized Ho Chi Minh City's Bến market, where food lovers can discover the beauty of Vietnamese cuisine and enjoy delicious dishes. Food and Wine was founded in 1978 by Ariane and Michael Butterberry. It features cuisine articles, cooking tips, and travel information.
Trang Sơn village is famous in Vietnam for its traditional carpentry. Local craftsmen have shown their talents in many ancient structures in the country. Let's follow our NetViet VTC 10 reporters to explore this special village at the outskirts of Hanoi.
Chang Son or Chang village is also called Ganua. The elderly said that every land attached to the root Ge is prosperous. The carpentry in Chang Son village has been famous for many unique artworks such as pagodas, temples imbued with Asian architecture, and especially 18 Arhat statues placed in Tây Phương Pagoda. The Bab ecological area of Nguyễn Văn Ngọ in Thạch Thất district is famous among ornamental tree lovers. Visiting such beautiful garden, many people said that they would change their fortune for it. During the last few years, coming to Dambak or Silver Lagoon, they could visit an Asian house built by the talented workers of Chang Son village. Having escaped from a hectic life, the skyscrapers or crowded urban area, many people seem to find peace in their mind when visiting Ngọ's garden.
Nguyên nhân mà tôi làm cái nhà này thì nó do cái trước mắt là do cái ý thích của cá nhân. Cái thứ hai nữa là nó cũng cảm thấy nó hợp với cái khung cảnh của cái sân vườn, và gia đình thì lại làm cái nghề phim mặt cảnh. Bởi thế cho nên là tôi có đi tham khảo một số nơi, nhất là về phía bên chỗ cái làng nghề mộc Tràng Sơn mà đã nổi tiếng là của Thạch Thất Hà Nội đấy. Thế thì tôi có nhờ cái cánh thợ chỗ anh Sức là tất cả vào nhận làm cho cái ngôi nhà cổ, vì nó cũng theo cái lối đồng bằng Bắc Bộ thì tôi rất ưa thích. Và nên là sau khi mà được cánh thợ của ông Sức xây dựng cho ngôi nhà theo cái ý tưởng cá nhân, và cũng là phần lớn khi xong thì tôi rất là mỹ mãn theo cái ý nguyện của mình.
Coming to the carpenter's workshop, we see hardworking workers first. They work enthusiastically and try to create the finest products. To be able to do so, they've had to learn for many years. Carpentry requires carvers to be very skillful. Many children here live and grow up with the sound of the chisels. Although they are small, they are already able to earn money with their own products. Over 40 years of pursuing this craft, artisan Nguyễn Huy Giáp only keeps some sophisticated artworks for his memory. He said that beautiful products will not be developed if they aren't offered or sold to anybody. Talented workers created the products with small and sophisticated patterns. To have beautiful products, the workers have to find the right kind of wood and then carve carefully and choose appropriate kinds of paint for each item.
Theo tôi thì trong nghề của tôi thì tôi nói những người cứ yêu cầu để có một cái sản phẩm đẹp thì tôi đã có những cái tự mình đặt ra các tiêu chí. Thí dụ để muốn có một sản phẩm tốt thì trước hết là cái người mà chính chủ để quản lý cái sản phẩm phải là cái người nhiệt tình. Sau đó nguyên liệu thì phải đẹp, rồi người thợ phải tài hoa. Ba cái yếu tố này cộng lại thành một sản phẩm không phải bàn thì nó cũng đã đẹp. Thế thì trong cái cách nhìn nhận của người thợ như tôi là tôi chọn sản phẩm, nếu như không đúng những cái sản phẩm tiêu chí mà để đạt được những cái đỉnh cao thì những cái gỗ nào mà không đạt yêu cầu tôi không làm. Mặc dù là trong đó còn đang thiếu nhưng không thể nhét cái gỗ khác được vào, nó phải đúng cái gỗ thì sản phẩm mới đạt đến hoàn hảo.
Talking with Zab, we know clearly the origin of this village's name. Chang literally means a chisel, an important tool in carpentry, and Son means painted. Even though thanks to talented workers, the Chang Son carpentry had been developed prosperously to become Chang Son industrial area like today, hopefully the development will be continued so that skillful workers in Chang Son will bring wonderful artworks nationwide.
The story about the Vietnamese carpentry village has wrapped up our Vietnam journal for today. For comments and feedbacks, please send us an email to netvietdaily@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and see you again tomorrow.